this. Okay, now this is interesting. Now watch this very carefully. If you want to take a video, please do so. If you want to write it down, please do so. Now this is the most important presentation for the Bitcoin today. Now Bitcoin economics, let me just explain this slowly so that you understand. Now remember, Bitcoin was incepted in 2008. Okay, now Bitcoin was incepted in 2008. Now there can only be how many Bitcoin ever exist? 21 million. Okay, talk to me, right? So that it gets a little bit more exciting. Or else some of you will be sleeping, right? So there can only be 21 million. Now, so far, how many million Bitcoin has been minted?
Before that, why only 21 million?
That is the protocol that has been fixed by Satoshi. Okay, but I will show you later. It's actually more than that. Okay, because you must understand Bitcoin units. That is what we call Satoshis. Okay, later you will understand, right? But there's only 21 million. But next is that, how many million has been minted so far?
18 million.
BTC been minted so far is 18.5 million for the past 12 years. But also please understand that 4 million is unaccounted for. So 18.5 minus 4 million, unaccounted for means some people have lost their wallet. Some people have thrown away the hard disk. These are unaccounted for or already lost. So 18.5 minus 4, 14.5 is a good news for us. Am I right? Because the lesser the Bitcoin in the market, the better for us, because the value will go up. So you should be rejoicing if you're holding Bitcoin. Am I right? So now, how many more left to be mined? Only 2.5 million left to be mined. Now you will feel, oh my goodness, we came in late. No, you are not late. You are still at the beginning of the beginning. Now, when will 21 million end? Anybody? When will 21 million end? By year 2140. So, another 2.5 million will take another 120 years. Does that puzzle you?
Yes.
18.5 million is 12 years. But 2.5 million is another 120 years. Why is it? This is what we call Bitcoin economics. Let me explain to you, right? So now, remember, okay, every blockchain per block is 10 minutes. So it's every 10 minutes is called chain of blocks. That's why we call it blockchain. Okay, it's a chain of blocks. So the miners are rewarded for verifying and recording the transaction in the public ledger. So that's the job of the miners. So in a technical term, we call them as nodes. Nodes, and these nodes are everywhere. I think we got about 30 to 40,000 nodes. But 60 to 70% of the miners are located in China. Okay, China is one of the biggest mining power in the world. Why China? Because China is utilizing the hydroelectric power. The excess power is going to the mining farm. So the mining farm are located where the rivers are in the jungle, especially in Chengdu where the coal area are. So they need to tap the excess power because power is the most expensive things for the miner. That's what we call proof of work. The proof of work here is energy in kilowatt hour. No, it's not printing money, there's no proof. Those days when the bank print money, there is gold. But now there's no gold, so there is no proof of work. But Bitcoin is a proof of work, right? So, they need the hydroelectric power. Now, the mining farm using a high resistance or equipment, which there is a heat dissipation. There's a lot of heat, so they need to be where the river is to tap the water for the cooling system. And China is the biggest manufacturer of mining equipment, so the logistic cost is the cheapest. Can you understand? So that's why China. So, and also we have now biggest in Russia, I think Kazakhstan, okay, some of this country where it's cold, Iceland. Alright? That's why now we have it, right? So that's the reason big. So this is what the miners, so the miners will compete, 40 over 1,000 miners will compete with the miners, see who will verify and transact this Bitcoin first. So when someone executes a transaction, there are miners competing to solve the mathematical problem. Whichever miner that solves it, they will be rewarded. So what is the reward? Let's look into that. Okay? So the halving will take place every 4 years. Can you see that? 2008, halving will be in 2012, every 4 years. So what actually happens? So now the reward that is given to the miners in 2008 was 50 Bitcoin. So every block that they verify, okay, that they solve the mathematical problem, they will be rewarded with 50 Bitcoin. So now this 50 Bitcoin, the price at that period of time was only 0.04 cents. No value, right? That's where it started, right? Now, every 4 years, so the first halving happened in 2012. So now what happens? Bitcoin reward will be half, or the supply will be reduced by half from 50 to 25 Bitcoin. Now, but what is the price of Bitcoin at that period of time? $10. Can you see that? So although the reward is reduced, but the value is high. So now, the second halving happened in 2016. Alright, the reward or the supply is reduced by half every block. So that is to 12.5 BTC, but the Bitcoin price and average price was $400. Can you see? So although the supply is reduced, but the value of Bitcoin was high. Imagine if the miners were still keeping their Bitcoin. Some of them would have become billionaires, right? Or some of them trillionaires. Right? Now, we just had our third halving, right? This year, in the month of May. Alright, so what is the reward now? Every block is 6.25 BTC being released. Every block. How many blocks there will be in 4 years? 210 million blocks in 4 years. Okay, so now, but what is the average price in the month of May? 10,000. Okay, so when will be the next halving? 2024. That will be the fourth halving. Are you ready for the halving? So what will be the supply? The supply will be reduced by half to 3.125. What do you think will be the price of Bitcoin by then? So, what I'm trying to say is this. Every time the supply is reduced, which means now the supply is released in a fixed and slower manner, right? So even though we have another 2.5 million, it will take another 120 years for that to hit 21 million. Alright? So the reason being is simple. Remember, the supply is fixed. It is released in a controlled manner every 4 years, the halving. It is fixed. Nobody can change it. But what is happening to the demand? The demand is increasing every single day. Even if the demand is constant, will the price still go up? Yes. So this is Bitcoin economy. If you don't understand this, you will never buy Bitcoin. You will never own Bitcoin. Now, let me ask you a question. Does other shitcoins have this economy? Can you understand me? So if those coins don't have this economy, or those tokens don't have this economy, why are you buying those tokens? Ethereum is now doing beta testing. They're going to change it to same concept as Bitcoin soon. It will take probably another year or so. That's why Ethereum is struggling. Ethereum is a smart contract. It's not payment system. Can you see that? So if you hold Bitcoin, now this, for me, this is a very, very important period. You know why? Because the supply is reducing. Now, the more Bitcoin you own here, what is going to happen to your holding? what is going to happen to your net worth? That's why the predictions by 2020, 100,000 USD. And by 2023, 24 and 25, one Bitcoin is 250,000 USD. In our natural mind, it's not possible. But if you understand the economics, now you know it's possible. Okay, look at all this average price. What is the percentage of growth? That's huge. Are you good?
Yes.
Are you learning something?
Yes.
Alright, so this is important. We can't do this during the presentation. No way. Because these are technical. Alright? So these are all the reasons why. Can you see it's a 21 million, it's a SCAR, decentralized, distributed, peer-to-peer, borderless, transparent, deflationary, censorship resistant, proof of work, halving, irreversible. You send a Bitcoin, you do not know where it goes, okay, unless you know who you're sending to. So Bitcoin is irreversible. So don't send to the wrong address. But if one day you wake up in the morning, you see 10 Bitcoin in your wallet, praise God. Somebody has accidentally sent it to your wallet, madam. 10 Bitcoin. You can be how religious and honest you are and you want to return. You cannot return because you don't know who sent it to you. Just praise God and say, Lord, thank you for this technology. That I don't know who sent it to me. You understand? It's exciting, right? If suddenly you saw 10 Bitcoin, that is it. You will never attend our meeting any longer. Alright, so it is fungible, okay, fungible, interchangeable. You can change it to fiat, whatever it is. Divisible, okay, can be divided. I will show you the unit later on. Freedom. You decide what you want to do. Can you see? These are all the factors. Why Bitcoin? But the most important thing, you must know the economics. Alright, so you can explain to people, hey, this is why we want to own Bitcoin. Not because of anything else. Alright, now, these are some of the famous predictions, okay? Now, let's just focus on the most. Okay, I call in a statistic the mean, okay, the most, okay? Jameson Loop, Tim Draper, Trace Mayer, they said by 2020, Bitcoin is expected at 250,000 USD. Alright, so we don't know, it's just a prediction. But let's look into some of those proof, okay, that is taking place. Oh, okay, before we move on that, okay, so to explain that, okay. Now, this is the analysis that I have done in April, okay, somewhere last year. I've done this analysis. Now remember, the first halving happened in May, right? 2012. Now, remember, the price of Bitcoin was around $50. Now, from the first halving up to December, that is about how many months? 6 months. Watch what happens. Bitcoin price from $50 grew to $1,000, which is 2,000% in 6 months. But remember, Bitcoin has volatility, okay? So, Bitcoin has a correction. So, the correction happened, 85%, it came down to $150. Okay, this is the first halving. So, it's 6 months. What happens the second halving? Second halving was in May 2016. Now, watch what happened to the duration. This is 6 months. But, here, within, okay, remember, within, from 1,000, okay, it went up all the way to 2,000, all-time high. In 18 months, also 2,000%. So, the first halving is 6 months. But the second halving, all-time high, was 2,000, 20,000. I remember, at this time, many people bought Bitcoin. Okay, this is what we call FOMO. FOMO. Do you know what is FOMO? FOMO. Fear of missing out. Alright, so many people, they fear they will miss out. So they bought Bitcoin at 19,000, 80,000, and boom! Corrected 85%. Bitcoin came down to 3,000. And they say Bitcoin is a fraud. Bitcoin is Ponzi scheme. It's not Bitcoin, it's Ponzi scheme. They don't know when to buy. You don't buy when it is high. You buy when it is low. So is it the right time now to buy and to earn Bitcoin? Yes, now is the right time. Don't wait until 100,000 then want to buy. You see that? So that is it. So now, let's use this analogy, okay, now. Statistically, okay? Statistically, if 2 times 2,000%, can we take the third time estimation projected another 2,000%? What will be the price? Let's just do it. Alright, so, as I mentioned to you, right, it is a coincidence that first and second halving all-time high is 2,000%. So let's use this number and see what will be the next price. So, this is the 2 halving, right? Now, the third halving just happened, right? Just happened. Can you see in May 2020, halving just happened. So all-time high was 20,000. So what is the next all-time high if Bitcoin goes up by 2,000%? That will be 400,000 USD within the next 6 to 24 months. You see that? So, if Bitcoin hit 400,000, are you happy? Let's don't talk about 400,000. 200,000?
Yeah.
Okay, 100,000?
Yeah.
For me, 50,000 or so, I'm happy. Happy or not happy, the question is, do you have Bitcoin? It's no point to be happy, right? If you don't have a Bitcoin, you will hit your head at the wall and say, John David told I never listened. At least, madam, 1 Bitcoin. 1 Bitcoin, if it's 100,000 times ringgit at 5, let's say ringgit at 5. Okay, the lower the ringgit, the better it is. Am I right? So it's already 500,000, half a million, right? What can you do with a half a million? You can pay off your loan first with the bank. Set yourself free. Alright? So now, there will be a correction. So the correction, 85%, it will come down to 60,000. So now I will say the next 2 to 3 years probably will be the last year you can ever even buy 1 Bitcoin. It will be more expensive. Okay? So now, let's prove whether this analysis, what if, is correct or not. Let's prove that.
John, sorry to interrupt. So the 85%, right? So is it the number which you study the 85%, or is it the market?
No, it is an actual market. When the market corrected, the market came down to that figure. Alright? So we are taking the same figure just to project. We are not saying, remember, it's a what if analysis. I'm not projecting anything. I'm using the actual market data to prove the data to you. So if there's a correction, we are saying about 85%. Alright, so if that happens, okay, so that will be about 60,000. But
Joe, the correction is how many months it come down?
it depends. Remember, the correction happened somewhere in the beginning of January 2018. And it took one of the longest correction was this correction. It took at least about a year for Bitcoin to actually go up again to 10,000. And do you know that how many people were frustrated because they bought high? So many of them sold for loss because they need the money. I don't know any one of you was stuck there at that point of time. I was enjoying myself because in 2014, I bought Bitcoin at $300 1 Bitcoin. So when Bitcoin price went up to 20,000, I was liquidating my Bitcoin and I was buying properties. See, you must know what to do. Don't hold Bitcoin forever until you die. You must know when to liquidate. And then diversify into other portfolio. So you have Bitcoin, you got property, you got businesses. Can you see that? So don't just hold one and hope that this one will become a miracle. You must have a few. So this is financial intelligence. Alright? So now let's move on. Let's prove this figure. Okay, 400,000. Let's prove. Let's see what the world is saying. Now, Pantera Capital is one of the biggest venture capitalists in the world. July 2019, Pantera Capital predicted that Bitcoin will hit 356,000 by 2021. Is that close to 400,000? Yes. So it's not just my prediction, it is still correct. Close, okay? Close to Pantera Capital. Now, let's look into a few more. Tim Draper predicted, okay, 6 to 12 months after halving, Bitcoin will hit 250,000. But he has corrected his prediction. He's now saying between 22 to 2023, it will be about 250,000. One more. Anthony Pompliano says that Bitcoin is on its way to hit 100,000. When was this? February 2020. So that's why I told you, even if it's 100,000, are you happy?
Yes.
Cool? Are you happy you are here?
Yes.
This is important. So once you know, now you can go and evangelize, okay, and explain about these things to the rest of the people. Right? Let's move on. So now, if you look into Bitcoin, right, and if you go to blockchain.info, or you can go to www.coinmarketcap, you will be able to see the market cap of Bitcoin is currently $200 billion. It is the same net worth as Jeff Bezos. Alright? And the market dominance is 60%. But understand, in 2010, one Bitcoin was $1. So what is the price of Bitcoin as of today? $10,500. It doesn't matter it went up, it went down, but you are still holding Bitcoin up to today. Is it still profitable?
Yes.
Absolutely. And some people say, oh, Bitcoin will go to zero. Who told you so with the Bitcoin economics? It will never become zero. Alright? So why is it Bitcoin will never become zero? Why is it the price is still going up? Because remember, as of today, I'm just taking a blockchain wallet users. Can you see just a blockchain wallet? How about Coinomi? How about Exodus? How about a different wallet? Blockchain alone, as of the third quarter, the users are 54 million users. Alright? Not only that, if you look into the Bitcoin circulation as of now, right, as I mentioned to you, 18.5 million Bitcoin is in existence. The number changes every 10 minutes when new blocks are mined. Right now, each new block adds 6.25 Bitcoin into the circulation. You see, so when the miners are paid, right? When the miners are paid, they are paid in Bitcoin. Now, the miners have to pay the operation cost, the energy cost, right? So when they pay the operation energy cost, what happens? They have to sell the Bitcoin, and that Bitcoin goes into the circulation. Can you understand me? So that is how the miners actually makes money, right? Okay, so now, why Bitcoin can go up to 100,000 or 200,000 or 400,000? The reason being is that there are institutions that already are coming in and taking control of the market. So we have Fidelity, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, okay? All these big institutions are now the biggest player. Bitcoin price can be so volatile, can be moving and swinging up and down at any time. You just need to know when to take advantage of it. Can you understand? You and me cannot control the market, but we can leverage on it. That's all. Alright? So first halving, second halving is all peer-to-peer. But from the third halving is all the big institutions are into it. Alright? Alright, so we got two types of wallet. We have the hardware wallet and the software wallet. Okay? We call this as a cold wallet and a hot wallet. Alright, I'm going back to the decentralized wallet. So now you can see, a hardware wallet is basically any wallet disconnected to the internet. Alright, so that's the reason why you use Coinomi. You use Exodus, because all these are not connected to the internet. And there are other wallets like hardware wallet. You can use Ledger Nano, or you can use Trezor. All these are hardware wallet. You only use hardware wallet when your asset is so huge. So if you got 10 Bitcoin, 20 Bitcoin, hundreds of Bitcoin, you need a separate hardware wallet that is completely disconnected to the internet. You only connect when you need it. Can you see that? Right? So you use those kind of wallets. So these are basically what we call an offline wallet or cold wallet. Then you have the software wallet. It's a hot wallet. Can you see any wallet somehow connected to the internet? It is online. So that's why I say a software wallet is a centralized wallet. A hardware wallet is a decentralized wallet. So you don't store your Bitcoin here. Don't store your Bitcoin in Remitano. Don't store your Bitcoin in Luno. Don't store your Bitcoin in the exchanges. Only store your Bitcoin in a hardware wallet. Okay, which is Exodus, Coinomi, or you have your external wallet, which is the hardware wallet. Okay? Am I helping you?
Yes.
Alright, this is important. So please tell the people. That's why people, Bitcoin losses. Why Bitcoin losses? Because they go and keep in the wrong wallet. It's a centralized wallet. We don't use that. Okay? We keep in the decentralized wallet. So you have the full control. A hardware wallet, you have the private key. A software wallet, you don't have the private key. In Luno got no private key. Remitano got no private key. Clear? Bitcoin unit. Okay, now we are all calling BTC, right? One Bitcoin is BTC. Okay, the next will be milli BTC, 0.001. One day, 0.001 will be the same value as today. And the day will come where you can no longer buy milli BTC, you can only buy micro BTC, 0.00001. And there's going to be another period where you can no longer buy all this. You can only buy Satoshi, which is 8 decimal points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One day you will say, can I buy Satoshi? Can I buy Satoshi? Can I buy Satoshi? So now do you know who is Satoshi? You and me will be the Satoshi. Alright, it is the smallest decimal. That's called Satoshi. Now, don't be shocked one day, one Satoshi is $10,000. You will regret your whole life that you didn't own any Bitcoin. Because today, right, people cannot buy one Bitcoin, right? Now people are asking for 0.01, 0.001. Can you see it's already happening?